Hey you guys, it's Khang. Welcome to my channel, Wholesale to Million. Now, I want to share, I want to share this with you guys, is that whatever situations, whatever circumstances, whatever, whatever you're in right now, whatever you're going through right now, let that be the stories once you've made it. All right? Let that be the story once you've made it. Because I tell you, success doesn't come easy, right? You see me closing deals right now. It was never that easy when I first started. It took me 6 months to do my first wholesale deal, or to do my first deal. I'm sorry, to do my first deal, because I started out as fix and flip. All right. And at the time, my wife and I, we were traveling, we were taking time off work, we're spending money on food, hotel, seminars, and trying to learn the business, right? And I tell you, there were times where my wife and I was trying to save money when we were flying to the airport, to catch an early flight. What we did was, because the airport is about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from us, depending on traffic, and we didn't want to rent a hotel. So what we did was we end up sleeping in a car. We end up sleeping in the car trying to catch a 4 or 5 o'clock flight, okay, to go to a seminar. I'm sorry. And, and then when my wife and I first met, when we were 18, we live in a little shack behind a mobile home park. We lived there for 5 years, work, and then just save every single penny. We budgeted ourselves to like $50 to spend per month on, after all the expenses is paid, spend on anything we want, $50 a month. You guys, it was not, it wasn't enough for us to do a whole lot of things. I can tell you that. It was, there were times where we wanted to go for dinner and a movie, and we couldn't. We had to pick between dinner, right, going out for a nice dinner, or to a movie, but we couldn't do both because we would have spent all that $50 just in one night. And our whole thing is we got to stretch that $50 for the whole entire month. So our teens and our 20s, we spend a lot of time just focusing on working, saving our money, trying to get ourselves out of, out of that shed, right? Save the money up so we can buy our first house and get ourselves out of that shed. We didn't have any knowledge of or awareness of real estate investing, or maybe, or for those of you who are selling on Amazon or whatever it is, we didn't have any awareness how to do any kind of business to generate more money. All we knew was we knew what we knew at the time, which is not much, right? Just working at a regular job, because all of our surrounding people, our families or friends, they're all pretty much working at a job. They were an entrepreneur, they were a business owner. So, my wife and I don't want to do nails, right? Most Vietnamese does nails, and we don't want to get into that business, right? We don't want to get into that business. I have a couple of sisters that has nail shops, and so is my wife, but we don't want to get into that business. So at the time, I was working at a regular job, and then we had an opportunity at about when we're 20. My wife was working for this guy, and he has a kiosk in the mall that sells beauty products, hair extensions, hair straighteners, curling iron, hair accessories, and we bought over the business. At the time, our goal was to save up all of our money to put into a down payment for the house that the house that we live in now. But instead, we took all the money that we saved. We probably had about $15,000 or $20,000 saved up. We took every single penny, gave it to the guy, bought over his business, and my wife knew that she could make the business way better than it is. And then then when she bought over the business, I had to I pretty much have to step out of my comfort zone. I was a very shy, insecure guy growing up, you guys. To be honest, I don't know how my wife and I end up dating each other, because she was more of a very talkative, outgoing person. I was more like a shy, insecure, don't want to hang out with anybody, just want to be work and then come home and play video games, and and I've never gone to the mall. I've never go to the mall. It's too much people. I get this nervous breakdown, and my palms starting to sweat, and I'm just too nervous around a lot of people that I don't know. And that's the reason why too, beside that I wasn't good in school, that's also the reason why I dropped out the high school, because you know, first I wasn't good, and I knew that I wasn't going to go to college. I knew that I wasn't going to pursue you know, anything further after high school. And I knew that you know, I knew that I'm a hardworking guy, and I don't mind work hard for what I want. So I dropped out of high school, met the wife. So anyways, you guys, you know, and then when we bought over the business, I kind of unclay myself. I kind of have to push myself out of my comfort zone, out of my insecurity. And as a guy, I'm selling beauty products as an insecure, shy guy that have to end up selling beauty products in the middle of the mall, asking random girls to go by and do their hair. Imagine that, you guys. The first day was horrible. I came in, I tried it, I asked my first objections. You know, my first objections was obviously was a no. My heart just almost fell out. I grabbed the key, drove home, cried to my wife, and she said that I had to change who I am if you know, I had to change who I am for us to change our life. And you know, and I want to be the guy that want to provide for my wife. If she wants, hey, I want to do that, I want to buy that, I want to go here, I want to go there. I want to be the guy that said, I would do it for you, or I can make that happen. So I gotta, you guys, I was pushing myself so hard to get out of my comfort zone. But anyways, after 6 months, you guys, after 6 months, I was selling like a pro. I was selling like a pro. I was getting so much objections that I was getting so many no's, that it becomes like, it just becomes nothing, right? And I adapt to it, and you guys, after 6 months, I was training up our employee. Man, my mom and dad even came into the mall, and they even questioned me and said, what kind of man work at a hair extension kiosk? And they told me to go get a real job, and they told me to quit it, don't do it. And you guys, if you follow my channel, you know that my wife and I, you know, we try to keep everything pretty confidential, pretty private, and we didn't really, you know, share with our families. She didn't share with her family. I didn't share with my family at the time that we actually owned the kiosk. We were just telling them that we're just employee, we're just working there, you know, because at the time, you know, to us was, there's nothing to show, right? For us was like, let's talk, more action. Show me, don't tell me, right? Show me, don't tell me. So for us was like, hey, you know what? We're going to show you instead of telling you, you know, telling you where we're going, where we're heading, what we want to accomplish. Well, we're going to show you. And that's how we're going to quiet you, right? That's how we're going to silence you. And that was kind of my wife and I mentality at the time. So we kept, you know, at the time we were making good money, but we kept it pretty much as a secret. But anyways, you guys, after that, you know, we got into real estate, and things doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of dedication. And my wife and I, you know, we used to fight all the time about finances, right? Because we struggle financially, right? But what I'm telling you is that to get to where you want, you must make the sacrifice and the commitment. You must go through the hard time, the rough time, the bad time. You see, and my wife and I at the time, we were living our life based on this one quote. And we, you know, at the time, we didn't know that there was an actual quote out there, and we didn't even know how, you know, we didn't know what the actual quote was until we, you know, recently discovered a few years ago. And that is, an entrepreneur is someone that's willing to live a few years of their life like no one won't, right? Or like no one can't. Or yeah, like no one won't. I'm sorry, you guys, I don't remember that. So yeah, entrepreneur is someone that's willing to live a few years of their life like no one won't, so they can spend the rest of their life living like no one can't. you guys, that was our mentality when my wife and I met, was, you know what, we're willing to sacrifice, we're willing to live the life that nobody's willing to live. So one day we can spend the rest of our life doing whatever we want, whenever we want, with whoever we want. And you guys, now, you know, my wife and I, we can go on vacation anytime, we can travel, we can do all this. But the hardest thing is getting friends and family to go, because they are still stuck at a 9-to-5 job. They got to ask for time off. They don't have the money to do it. And, you know, so a lot of times when you get to the top, it is going to be lonely, right?
Next left.
It is going to be lonely, and then you have to find friends that are like at your level or more successful than you, to go on these vacation trip and to hang out with, right? I mean, we even offer our friend and family to pay for them to go on the vacation with us, and some of them still can't do it because they got asked for time off, right? See, they didn't make the sacrifice that we did to get to where we are. And you guys, and when I remember, I recently just chat with this young investor, and he said, Khang, it takes 10 years for an overnight success, but most people want to do it within 6 months. Most people want to see it within a year. And you guys, I'm telling you, what's worth having ain't gonna come easy. Success is not gonna come easy. If it was easy, everybody would have been successful, you guys. But it's just so hard for people to sacrifice, to make the commitment, and to work hard to get to where they want. But if you are if you are willing to do it, then you're gonna be the rare one, right? You're gonna be the rare one. You're gonna be the special one. You're gonna be the minority, right?
Next left.
But basically that's what I want to share with you guys. I want you guys, I don't know, obviously I don't know what situation you're in right now. I don't know what circumstances or what kind of things you're going through right now. But let me tell you this, let whatever you are going through right now, let that be your stories to when you make it. The worse it is, you guys, when you make it, the better your story's gonna be, and the more powerful and the more inspiration and the more powerful that's going to be for others to listen to and to look at and to inspire them to go after their own dreams. All right, you guys? So the worse things you're going through right now, the better your story's going to be once you make it, right? I remember when I met with my mentor, and he said this. He said, Khang, I thought my story was good, but he said yours is better. That's what he said. I honestly don't think my story is better than his, but that's what he said, because he said that, Khang, you came from Vietnam, living in a mud hut, coming over here knowing no English, grew up in a poor dirt family, and you were able to do what you do now. And you know, and so to me, it was, you know, it's definitely heartwarming to hear that coming, especially coming from my mentor. But what I'm telling you guys is, whatever you're going through right now, let that be the stories once you make it. Imagine how good your story would be once you made it to the top, right? You'll be able to inspire other and motivate other because of your stories. I mean, think about it. Your story would not be good if you said, hey, I hit a jackpot, so that's how I made my millions. Or my mom and dad gave me some money, I inherited some money, and that's how I made my million. People get, I don't know about you guys, but I get so empowered and so inspired and motivated by like people that have come from nothing and made it to the top. I get so inspired by those people, not the people that got money from, not from people that got money from their parents, not from people that grew up in a rich family, not from people that grew up in a families that have money, that build businesses already, and they just go in and take after it. All right, and that's what I want you guys to know. That let whatever you're going through right now, let that be the best stories ever once you made it. All right. So anyways, you guys, I just want to leave you guys with this, is that if you can dream it,
On the
and
left.
back up with actions and commitment and sacrifice and all of that, right? You can achieve
You
it.
have arrived at your destination. The route guidance
You can
is
achieve
now
it.
finished.
So anyways, you guys, I'm here already at the cellar. So thank you guys for every single one of you guys have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're interested in how to make money wholesaling houses in 2018, this year, smash that subscribe button. And if you like this video, you guys, don't be shy, smash that thumbs up. It really helps out my channel and it really helps me reach more people. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.